You look amazing.
I feel amazing.
And I like that.
This?
I appreciate
this
that,
old
baby.
thing? Yeah.
How long is that, John?
19 years worth, about down there.
Wow.
Wow, baby. Do you ever take it down?
Well, maybe not in public. You know, it's letting my hair down.
I love it.
Why, would you like for me to take my hair?
I want to see it, baby. I think...
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Here's what I'm gonna do for you. I think I'm supposed to perform, so before I get on stage, I'll take it down and wrap it up and...
Let your hair go,
Let it
baby.
flow.
Let it all out.
Might I say, you look amazing. Red is, wow.
Well, thank you, Mr. John Forte. I appreciate that.
I'm not flirting. I know you have a husband, but I'm just saying, you look amazing.
You're not blind.
Wait a minute. You can see.
Now, John, we understand you don't do a lot of TV.
No.
They like, Monique, he ain't into TV at all. But now after you do the show, you're going to get into the Monique show.
Well, I'm already here. I mean, you got me for life. It's blood in, blood out. That's it. I'm your man.
Nice.
I'm your man.
That's beautiful.
Blood in, blood out.
Blood in, blood out.
Like
That's
that.
it.
Now, early 90s, you with the Fugees, Refugee All-Star Camp, you kicking it, baby. Life is good. You riding high. You
I'm
doing
spending
it.
money. I'm flying places.
You putting it down.
Yes, I am.
Then we go on a detour.
Yeah.
And then you go away.
Right.
What happened?
I was on top of the world, like you said, or like we all acknowledge with a little bit of Wikipedia research. And it was time for me to branch out, time for me to do my solo thing. So my record company at the time, major record industry, everyone's set up. John Forte is next. He's going to be the next big thing. My record comes out. I sell a little bit less than 100,000 units domestically. By today's standard, that'd be a huge success. But back then, it was a huge disappointment, having sold millions with the Fugees, millions with Wyclef. So me, instead of looking in the mirror saying, well, maybe the songs weren't as good. Maybe I could have worked harder with promoting it. Maybe I could have worked harder with marketing. Maybe I could have been a nicer guy. Instead, I go into the record company. You guys don't know what you're doing. You guys are incompetent. So they're sitting there and they're listening to me. Really? Well, bring it on. You know, I'm going in on. So then finally they say, well, you know, you can take your business and your brand and go someplace else, and kick me on out the door. So instead of humbling myself, I looked for other opportunities. And the universe has a funny way of conspiring to help the dreamer, for better or worse. So when a situation presented itself where there was a guy who was a bit affluent, was running his own organization, and offered me a part in that organization. So basically, I involved myself in a criminal enterprise, a drug ring, if you will, and justified it by saying, I'm not a drug dealer. I'm just a musician who wants to do this in order to afford his next project, if you will. So when the judge and the jury finally heard me say that in 2001, they sat back and listened just like the record company listened and came back with a guilty verdict. So in 2001, I was sentenced to 168 months in a federal prison. Do the math, I'll help you, that's 14 years. And I went away.
First, I appreciate your honesty. Appreciate your honesty, baby. Because you ain't placing it nowhere but right where it's supposed to be.
That's right.
Okay? So now you got all this money. Right. There was a time that it's money, it's limos, it's dinners, it's whatever you want. Now your first night in jail. How do you survive that?
I walked into the unit for the first night, and people knew who I was. I came in with a little bit of celebrity, so people knew that I was coming. There were guys in there reading the local newspapers every day, so they knew, you know, John Forte might be eating dinner with us any day now. And sure enough, I came, it was September the 6th, 2001. So I'm already trying to deal with it. 5 days later, somebody knocks on my cell, and this is in Houston, Texas. Hey, little homie, you might want to come and see the TV. And I said, nah, I don't do TV. Hey, little homie, you really might want to come and see the TV. What? New York is on fire. September the 11th, 2001. So here I am, just having been convicted, and then seeing what's happening with the World Trade in New York, calling home, not being able to reach home, so it was a double whammy, if you will. But, you know how I've heard you say it a number of times. God is good. However you interpret God, whatever that is for you, you realize that you're not alone, and you ask for strength, and you ask for guidance, and you ask for that sort of provision to carry you through the moments. And that was the beginning of a metamorphosis for me personally, to do a lot of self-examination, re-examination, and to learn how to walk more upright, if you will.
If I invited you to dinner and no one in the house knew what your past was, we would never associate you with prison because they don't show the brothers like you. They don't show you. They don't let us see that you just made a bad decision. You're not a bad brother. You just made a bad decision. Now, in you being sentenced to 14 years, you actually didn't do 14 years.
Nope.
You did 7,
Yep.
correct? What were you doing when you found out you was going to get out early, and why did you get out early?
I'd lost all of my appeals. We had one sliver of hope, and that was we filed for executive clemency in the summer of 2006. We were all well aware of what that meant. I was in the federal system, so a governor couldn't come in and pick me out like he could in the state, not to take that lightly. But it had to come from numero uno, you know, the commander-in-chief, the president. And on November the 24th, 2008, while I was sitting in my bunk, reading newspapers and books, because I'd also gone back to school at the time when I was away, someone had come to me again and said, hey, you want to watch some TV? And I said, you know I don't watch TV. And they said, but, you know, the president is on there giving out pardons and commutations. I said, really? You know, I perked up and went to the phone and I called my lawyer, and I hear ambiance in the background. So I said, what's going on? She says, John, did you hear anything? I said, no, I didn't hear anything. She says, I said, with the exception of the fact that the president is on TV handing out pardons and commutations. She said, your name is on that list. You'll be home within 30 days. And,
now, to go through that journey, and you're back to making music, and I understand that the release is the same release date that you got out, that you're putting the album out. Why is that important, that those two dates they come together?
well, actually, I released the new project, Style Free, the EP, on July 14th of 2009. That was actually the 8-year anniversary of my arrest. This is the cover here. So on the anniversary of my arrest, I released Style Free, so now I can actually celebrate this moment as opposed to dreading it.
Yes, baby. You know what? Right now, and I know we get ready to go to break, but I want to talk to all the brothers and sisters that's locked down. Please. It's called Don't You Ever Give Up Hope, baby.
Never.
Don't you ever give up. You're looking at him right here. John Forte. Y'all stay right where you are, because when we return,